Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. It is a lovely Good Friday here in Norwich, in the east of England. So I'm having a little relax this afternoon, but of course, as always, I have A's baseball on the mind. As the A's get going to finish up this 10-game road trip with 3 games in Toronto against those Blue Jays. Both teams come into this series with a 4-3 win-loss record. The Blue Jays started their season winning 2 out of 3 at home to the Texas Rangers, and then went out to New York and played a 4-game series against the Yankees, which they have split 2-2. So they lost yesterday 3-0. In fact, that was the second time in a series that the Blue Jays were shut out, which is surprising considering the amount of lumber they have in that lineup, with Vlad Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, and many others. Now, they have got a couple of injuries to their regular starting players. Oblique injuries seem to be the thing of the day right now, don't they? They're in vogue, oblique injuries in Major League Baseball. Danny Jansen, their catcher, was put on the injured list at the start of the week with an oblique injury, and just yesterday, the talented outfielder Teoscar Hernandez was also put on the injured list with an oblique injury. So they've got a couple of people out, but they've got some very good players still in that lineup. And of course, the name we all have to think about is a man who previously we have always said there ain't nobody like him, and his name is Matt Chapman. So it will certainly be weird to see Matt Chapman playing against us. We know all about his elite defense at third base, but what we've seen in the past few years is a bat that after a classic 2019 season has really taken a big dip, if not a total nosedive. So I had a little look through all of the data and the StatCast numbers to have a look at what is going on with Matt Chapman at the plate. To take a look at Matt Chapman, we will have a look at the Baseball Savant website, or Savant as we would call it here in the UK, which is the official website for Major League Baseball, where they pull in all of the StatCast data and spit it out into really useful ways. And the MLB percentile rankings chart I really like. It's just a nice, quick, easy visual guide to how a player stacks up in different categories to the rest of the Major League that season. So 2019, here is Matt Chapman's chart. In these charts, red is good, and as you can see, there is a lot of red here for Matt Chapman. We know it was his best MLB season so far, a really good season for Chappie, and everything looks good generally speaking. 96th percentile, so top 4% in average exit velocity, 95, so top 5% in max exit velocity. His hard hit percentage is right up there, barrel percentage 85 percentile, really good. Yes, expected batting average is below average, K percentage, so strikeout percentage, is below average, but very manageable considering how good all of the rest of the contact is. And of course, outs above average is his fielding, you know that's elite. So all looks good, but then as A's fans we know it all fell apart in 2020. He had hip surgery. We thought that would solve everything, but unfortunately when we look at 2021, look how everything changes. Yes, max exit velocity is still right up there, barrel percentage is still good, we know the fielding is still elite, but look at that, average exit velocity now 59 percentile, hard hit percentage 54 percentile, and dearie me, look at expected batting average and K percentage. That is 3%, so that is in the bottom 3% of all MLB hitters last year he was in. And even whiff percentage, so that's swinging and missing, 8%, so bottom 8%. That is not below average, that is bad, just right out bad. Now, the other side of his game is still very good, and that's why he got regular at-bats, of course, but that's something that really needs to change if Matt Chapman is going to be the player we all thought he would be. And of course, we're only 7 games into 2022, so don't put too much stock into Lee's, especially the outs above average. No idea what's going on there with his fielding. But although the max exit velocity is 91 percentile because of that home run, everything else is not good. And it will be interesting to see how Matt Chapman fares as a Toronto Blue Jay, bearing in mind the outstanding potential we saw from him earlier in his career. But it's really gone downhill, and it's not just a few games, not just a slump. It's back to 2020 in a shortened season, and it's all of last season too. Which brings me to Mystic Matt time. In the video, I mean, it was kind of written in the stars that Chapman's going to have a good series, isn't it? But I'm going to say, Mystic Matt, Chappie is going to have a game where he hits 2 home runs. He's already hit 1 home run so far this season. He's been striking out quite a lot, and Blue Jays fans are already on Twitter talking about that. But yeah, I suspect I'm going to predict a 2 home run game for Chappie at some point in this series. Hopefully I'm wrong, but if I'm right, well, at least I've been proved right. It should be a really exciting series with the Blue Jays. We know they're a very good team, but hey, the A's have started off this season pretty well, haven't we? So hopefully we can do well in this series. What are you expecting, guys? I'll be honest, having gone 4-3 so far on this road trip, if we go 1-2, win 1 out of the 3 and finish up 5-5 from this 10-game road trip, I would be more than happy with that. That would be much better than I thought we would have. But of course, as I said in the preview to yesterday's game, you've got to be greedy. If we can win this series 2-1, sweep, dare I say it, possibly not. But if we can come out of this road trip with a series win over across the whole 10 games, wow, that would really be something, a real statement for these A's and Mark Kotze's team. So hopefully we can do that. But at the very least, let's try and get at least 1 win from this series. Let me know what you think will happen in this series, and it should be a good one.